On this video on million dollar ideas or million dollar businesses that you can build yourself, um, this one's about water. And you know, water is a multi billion dollar business because people are buying bottled water every day. And let's talk about water in the city. Now, when you live in the city and your water is recycled from sewage, let's just cover this because it's important. Not only are you getting all these medications and drugs and everything else in the water that are in trace amounts in your water when you're drinking that nice purified city water, you are also getting all that blood from the dead people. When they embalm the people, they suck all their blood out and they shove it down the drain in the sewer, and that gets recycled back into water, which you're drinking. Now, people, this is pretty gross. I mean, why the hell would you want to drink someone else's blood that's been recycled and drink someone else's urine and crap that's been recycled and drink all this chemicals? And see, there's another problem with that, because when you're getting trace amounts of these drugs, these medications and all this crap in your system, it's going to screw up your body. It's going to make you sick. And I tell you what, I've had city water before. And I got to tell you, it makes me sick. In fact, I've actually been heaving sick because it just is so freaking nasty. And now it's got fluoride and chlorine and all that garbage in it. But hey, they're like, oh, it's disinfecting it. Oh, I'll get all that nice dead body blood and we'll disinfect it for you so you can drink it. All those rotten corpses in there, we'll get rid of that smell for you. So, yeah, and think about it. How many thousands of people die every year in a city? And their blood gets flushed down the drain because the blood's drained out of the body, and they put formaldehyde back in the body, and then they shove all that blood down the drain. And it goes right in the sewers, and then they recycle all of it. And they're like, yeah, these people are dumb, man. They're drinking blood and guts and, all this crap in the water, and there are these medications, and oh man, we'll just keep building the plant. Well, now what the hell? We'll put another filter in. We'll just add some more chlorine to it, Yeah, well, thank you very much, because I'm not drinking it. Okay, now, on the business end of it, here's what a person can do to get healthy, clean water and sell it. Now, of course, you'll notice that when you buy some bottled water, you can buy it that's spring water, which is what you want to buy. But they're making billions of dollars and they're selling in plastic bottles, which is, I had another video about plastic fake world and plastic toxins all around us, and plastic bottles are toxic. So, you can do this, and it's an investment, and you may already live in the perfect spot. So if you have an area outside the city, you can drill a well. Yes, you drill a well, which is going to cost anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000 or $30,000. And now you got clean water. And you can sell that. You set up your own little shop in your house, right there in the garage or wherever, and you can sell water all day long. You can have people come out there and fill up their tanks, whatever, and you can sell it right there in town and have clean water. Now, the other thing is, how do you sell it? I mean, what do you put in it? There's a lot of ideas out there, but there's everything from stainless steel coffee mugs and whatever else. You can have people come out and fill up, but who's going to just want one little cup, right? So you want 1 gallon or 2 gallon or 5 gallon. Well, the military has water containers. They used to have, they're now plastic, but they used to have metal water containers. And they were anywhere between, they're about 5 gallon. 5 gallon, they look like the jerry cans that you put gas in. Similar. And so you've got to buy a good supply of those, which you can sell to the people so they can keep refilling those stainless steel metal containers, and they come out, or they're usually like metal. It could be aluminum, But a lot of times they're made of good metal and they don't have all the contaminants in them. So you're going to be pretty safe. And so you go and you sell these. And you sell these water jerry cans, which basically all you do is put water in them, and there's for 5 gallons. And you sell them just like Culligan water, $5. Fill it up is $5 every time. Now they can shower in the blood water and the medicated water and all that crap at home if they want, but unless they want to move out of the city, which I know some people listening to this are probably going to move out of the city if they know that there's dead bodies and crap floating in the water they're trying to drink, you know. So yeah, I mean it's not dead bodies, but it's their blood, and who in the hell's want to drink that crap, you know? I mean it's not good. So you want to sell those jerry cans, and you can have them filled up, and you can have ones that are filled, and you can have ones that are empty, and you can do it right out of your garage, or you can set up your house as a whole entire store and live in one side of it and have the store in the other, whichever you want to do. But you're going to make good money because there's people out there who are looking for good sources of water locally that are reasonable. And even if Culligan charges $7, $8, $10 for 5 gallons in the big cities, you could charge $5 and you can do that all day long and make a lot of money. And you get off the money from the jerry cans. You make the money on the jerry cans that are going to be filled full of water, or you can sell the jerry cans that are empty and make money on those, and you make money on the water. That's pretty darn good money. I mean, I'm serious. When people find out about it, they're going to want to come to you because it's fresh well water. It's not bottled in plastic. And you're selling in these nice, clean, healthy jerry cans that they can fill up with water. You get clean stuff. You don't get stuff that had gas in it and everything else. You get brand new jerry cans and you sell them. And you don't sell plastic. You don't sell plastic because people want to get away from plastic. They don't want plastic. That plastic has chemicals that hurts people. So you want to get away from the chemicals and stick with stuff that works. So you go with the metal jerry cans that are for water. And you can buy them online, and you can buy them probably even at they used to sell them at Army Navy stores, but I don't know if they do anymore. But you know, you get those, and you can find them online, or you can find a company that sells them, or a military outlet place, and buy them as much as you can, stock up on them, and fill up your garage full, and start selling them. And put a little office in the front there, and walk in the back in the garage there, and grab a jerry can, and pull up the counter, and sell it to the customers. You know, so you can do it. There's a lot of money to be made there because people want water every day. I mean, we're talking in a city, there's going to be lines of people lining up. Lines of people. If you can sit there and you're making, you're talking $100 an hour sometimes, I can see that where it's going to get to that point. Where it starts out, it's going to be slow until you start advertising. And you say, this is fresh well water that's clean. This is pure well water. And you can have it tested. Yeah, you want to have it tested. Make sure it doesn't have anything in it. You know, make sure it's good. But that way, you post that little thing up on your door right there, and you say, this is fresh, clean water. It's been tested. It's pure water. There's nothing in it. And you sell those jerry cans, those metal jerry cans for water, and people are going to line up and get it. In your own neighborhood, they're going to start coming over every day and get water. They're going to be like, yeah, I want that for just drinking water. And they'll pay $5 or, you know, for each time they fill up. And $5 is a reasonable price because you beat Culligan. And number two, they're getting it right straight from the source, right straight from the well, which is the freshest you can get. And that is going to sell a lot. There's going to be, I can see that he's a huge market, and several people could do it on the outskirts of the city. And people in the city, when they find out, they'll drive out there and say, yeah, they'll fill up 3 or 4 of them and get 20 gallons of fresh, clean water and take it home, and so they have a week's worth of water to drink. And that's all it's going to be used for: coffee, making hot cocoa, and drinking the clean, pure water. Because they don't need to filter it or anything like that. It's fresh, clean, pure water. And it's straight from the source, and it's that is a big seller. That's like selling watermelons right from the field. And people that drive by and they see this little stand on the corner there, and people are selling watermelons and fresh watermelons just picked an hour ago, and they're like, man, I want that watermelon. There's nothing better than fresh watermelon off the vine. So they go and buy a thing of watermelon and they take it home and eat it, and they're just happy as a peacock because it tastes like real watermelon. It don't taste like that fake watered down GMO watermelon they sell in the stores. It's about giving the community, the city or town you live in, something that is beneficial for everybody, and you're still making a dime off of it. And you're going to make quite a bit of money. I mean, $100 an hour on a busy day, I could see could be $1,000 day. $1,000 day or even a $500 day. How many people can make that working a regular 9-to-5 job? Unless they are technicians or something else, way up there in a big office or whatever. But, $500 days is pretty darn good money. And it's cash on the barrel. Well, I suppose you could do credit cards too. You could do the credit card thing because a lot of people are just there and they want to have a record of it so they can show it on their receipt and stuff. So sure, carry a credit card machine, and it's only like, what, $25-$30 a month for that. But that's not very much considering the amount of money you'd make. $500 a day, I could see happening. $1,000 days, easy. In the summertime, easy. $1,000 days would be nothing. I could see $2,000 days in the summer. On a really hot day, people are going to be drinking a lot of water. And they want fresh, clean water. And they might come back and fill up 3 or 4 of those jerry cans, $15 in one shot. You're talking $15 in 5 minutes. So you just made $15 in 5 minutes. Where are you going to make that in the world? I mean, we're talking a lot of people that are looking for a lot of alternatives, and they want healthy stuff. And a lot of people are going healthy today. They want to get away from all this crap. They don't want the city sewer water because there's a lot of people that already know what's in it, so they're buying spring water in plastic bottles, which is still poisoning them. But they're like, well, it's worth the risk. At least I'm getting clean water, but I'm not getting entirely clean water because I'm getting toxins from the plastic in my system, which can cause a lot of problems. So eventually it'll be to that point where plastic is going to be outlawed, and plastic is going to have to be either glass again, like the old glass bottles that pop and everything was sold in. That's what it's going to have to be. Or metal. It's going to have to be aluminum cans like beer cans, and water will be in a beer can type deal where it's actually like that. But in the meantime, there isn't that out there, so people are going to be looking for alternatives, and there's no better than the present for a person to make some money on that. And sure, it might be slow, and it's great for maybe a retired person or a disabled person, or, a person that's not 100% disabled, but a person that's got like some back injuries or whatever. They don't have to do a whole lot. They can just have their kids help them out and, have a family business. Or their wife, or the wife does for the husband, helps out the wife, and back and forth, and the whole family does everything, So there's a huge potential for a huge business profit there. And people can't just do it for a month and then give up. Because the people that start finding out about it, it takes about 2 or 3 months for people to start getting word out. And then they tell their friends, and they tell their friends, and they tell their relatives. And then pretty soon that gets out to like 100 people within 2 months. Now you got 100 people coming in 2 months. Well, that's okay. That's gonna double and triple and quadruple because they'll keep telling their friends, and they'll tell their friends, and they'll tell their friends. And it just keeps going on by word of mouth. And you can also advertise, which costs some money to advertise, but it's easier doing word of mouth. But if you want to get people in there like swarming right away, go ahead and advertise. Put an ad in the paper. And the sad thing about it is a lot of people don't even read the papers or the classifieds. So you're getting about 2%. And so that's okay. But you want to get that going and just let it ride. And it's not hurting you if you're already getting a disability or you're a veteran or whatever, or if you're just home out of a job, it ain't hurting you any to sit there for 4 or 5 hours waiting for a customer to come by. And you don't have to be sitting in your office all day waiting for a customer. You can have a thing on the there where it says ring doorbell for service. So they come up and there's a big sign there that says ring doorbell for service, and they push the button and you come out and you give them whatever and you go back in and do what you're doing in the house. You can clean or whatever you're building, whatever. I don't know. But, you can still live your life, but you can still make some extra money on the side. And when that thing picks up full time, where you are so busy every day, yeah, you're going to probably want to have a friend over to help out. You'd be like, dude, for whatever you do that day, I'll pay you for that day, or give you $3 for everything, or $2 every time you fill up, and I'll keep $3. So, they're making $2 to fill up. They're going to make $100, $200 a day. They're going to be pretty happy. It might not seem like a lot, but, you're going to have to find somebody that doesn't have anything else going on. Because if they got something else going on that's going to make them more money, or they feel like it's not worth their time, they don't see the long end of it, because it's going to be, the long end of it is the amount of people who come every day. And that's what you got to do. You got to stick with it. And it might take 3 or 4 months before that thing really picks up. But you keep it going. You just don't start it and then stop it. You keep it going, and then when you're on vacation, you have someone you hire out, and you tell them, yeah, you get the full profits when they're here. You keep everything you make, and that's on your end. So whatever you make, you keep. Kind of like that, because, yeah, they fill up the thing for $5. They made $5. That's going to make them a little bit more happier. So you'll pick it up when you come back. When you come back, you take back over, and you make the money again. But to hire somebody, you can't sit there and pay them $10 an hour. You say instead, how many fill-ups they get every day, they keep the money. So, fine. It's just free water out of the ground for you and a little bit of electricity. So, big deal. If you're gone for a week, so they made $500 to $1,000, or maybe $5,000, depending on how many people came in. But let them keep the profits. Heck with it. It's doing you a favor. They're watching your house. They're taking care of your business and keeping it going, and then when you come back, you just pick up where they left off. They just say, hey, I'm back. Thanks. Hope you had some good, turnouts. And, they'll do that for that, of course. Because anybody that thinks about it, they're like, yeah, if somebody's going to come in with 4 jerry cans, that's $20. Right there in 5 minutes. Some might come in with a whole truckload. Or some might come in with a huge tank. And they'll say, I want this huge 250-gallon tank filled up. Well, then you just figure it out. You're like, dude, how about $150 to fill it up? Oh, perfect. So, yeah, you just figure out your prices. You can't charge for every 5 gallons, $5 for every 5 gallons. That'll be a little too much. But so if they got 200-gallon metal tank for water, and they come out and they want that because they live out in the boondocks, and they need fresh drinking water, shall I give them a flat rate? Say, well, $150. Sure, 250 gallons is nothing in your well, so good. Those pumps are pretty well built, and they go for a long time, because a lot of people water their lawns all summer long. They're pumping water, they're taking showers, plus on watering the lawn, plus doing whatever, washing the car, and those pumps keep going, so yeah, they're pretty hardy dude. They last a long time. 20, 30 years. So really, by the time your pump ever does burn out, it'll be 15, 20 years, 30 years. Who knows? But by then, you'll have so much money you won't care. And the fact is, you shouldn't even worry about the electric part of it or the pump end of it, because those two things are good and solid. And the electric end of it isn't going to be that bad. You'll make enough that you can still, it's not even going to really phase you when it comes to paying it. Because what happens is the first couple months, you might get only 100 customers every month, but you're like, okay, well, my electric bill is only up like $3 or $4 or something. Not even that. You're talking a small amount of money. $1.50 or $2 difference. And it's no difference than someone just washing dishes. You use 5 gallons washing dishes. So that was nothing. And so literally it didn't even affect you on the financial end. So, and the water's free in the ground. So you're basically just pumping and selling it. There's no better market than selling water. And it literally is, you see these people. I mean, you look at these people. You look at those owners of these companies that sell water, and they got a big smile on their face. And it's like, if you have water, you've got a natural resource that people need, and they want fresh, clean water, they're going to buy it. And if they know they can come to you and get a jerry can, a metal jerry can, and the water they want, you got a huge sale. So you're getting both the jerry can sales and the sales from the water, and the water's just going to replace itself over time in the ground anyway every time it rains. So you've got a free resource. It's like solar. And it's, my gosh, you can't go wrong. Talk about the most abundant resource that's going to be making some money. And wow.